All right. So when I was a kid, I used to watch my favorite cricketers interview, and one of the most common thing that every interview had was that they were consistent, and that's the reason why they're successful. And at that point, I wasn't obsessed with the word consistent. Of course, I was a kid, but as I grew up, I somehow subconsciously linked consistency with being all in or nothing mentality, which was actually one of the mistakes that I made in the process. But after some time and effort, I somehow became the consistent version of self. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I became a consistent version of myself and how you can do the same. So before I tell you how to be consistent, let me ask you, what does being consistent mean? Okay, what does consistency even means to you? Because if we look at, uh, wait a second, this is consistency. Okay, you do the input every single day. This is the consistency. This is consistency too, and like this is consistency too. So what you need to understand is you do not have to be perfect in order to become consistent. Because what I used to do was I either get everything done as I said I'm going to do, or if or I just do nothing because of some XYZ reason. So I want you to do not just get obsessed with the word being consistency, with the word being perfect. Because if you have some, like, for example, if you have some daily inputs that you need to get done, maybe for recording videos or hitting gym, or maybe XYZ reason that is your priority right now and is going to help you to level up in the life that you're looking after. So what you need to do is that, okay, you should try to be consistent on a daily basis. But because of some XYZ reason, if you miss a day, let's say you did the workout today and you miss the day because you had a family function or some event, or you have traveled, or because of XYZ reason, okay, there are many external factors that can affect your consistency, and that's the reason why you need to create the routine or the environment that's going to help you to being consistent with your inputs. And let's say because of some XYZ reason, because of family reason, friends reason, everything, if you miss a day, you need to understand that it is okay. All right, it is okay to miss a day, but you cannot miss a day but because you think it's okay. All right, now I might just sound just complicated here, but what I mean is that if you think because of an excuse you give yourself that, okay, if I skip a day it's not a big deal, then it started from a habit, and it's going to be a problem for you because you are creating the mentality that is trying to convince you that you can just skip a day, it's not a big deal, we can just go back and relax. But if you have some reasons that you cannot just skip right now, okay, that some event come up that you cannot say no to, right, then you can skip a day because life's like this. Okay, we are not robots, or we are not some videos, or we are not some influencers, magical influencers who pretends to be consistent every single day, which of course they are not. But yeah, it's okay. Okay, it's part of the process. So yeah, it's okay to be inconsistent in the sense of you're not able to do it, but it's not okay to be inconsistent or skip a day if you think it's okay. So whatever the reason is, you need to try to get the work done on a daily basis. Okay, let's say if you have the input of, okay, I want to do the workout, and because of some reason you do not have time to do the workout, let's say you have like 30 minutes, you can utilize those 30 minutes and get the workout done. Okay, of course you're not going to hit the full inputs, but of course you're going to do something which is better than doing not or nothing. Okay, so if you have some time, let's say you want to do some workout and you do not have time, you can just do 100 push-ups. It just takes like 2 to 3 minutes at most. You can just get the workout done. Okay, you need to get some inputs done on daily basis in order to be consistent, because if you skip the entire day, then guess what, the person who isn't skipping the day is going to get ahead of you, which you definitely doesn't want to happen. And I'm not talking about the version, I'm not talking about another person, I'm talking the version of you who's being consistent and being loyal with the inputs that he has. Okay, now let's say because of some reason you skip a day. Do not ever allow yourself to skip 2 days in a row, because if you skip 2 days in a row, it starts to form a new habit of skipping days and not being consistent with whatever you've said you're going to be consistent. Now it has so many downfall effects for your life. You're not consistent. You're having weak mentality. You're not being confident about with yourself what you said you're going to do. You're not backing up the words that you said you will become. Okay, so there are so many downsides of it, and it's making it easy for you to skip another day and another, which I said in one of my previous videos that it leads you to a downward spiral. So if I recorded this video today, it's gonna make me easier to record a video tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. The same thing happens with every other input on the planet. If you do certain thing today, it's gonna make it easy for you to do it tomorrow. So that's the thing that you are supposed to be doing. And the next thing we can say is that why you want to be consistent. Why you want to be consistent? That's the biggest question, because if the answer that you give to me is that okay, I want to be consistent because the influencer XYZ, you need to be consistent in order to be successful, blah 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 blah, then I don't know, I just created an open loop. What success means to you? Because the success that he's living right now might not be the success that you want to be achieving. So yeah, I don't want to go so deep in this topic at this in this video at least. So you cannot be consistent for the sake of being consistent. Okay, if Virat Kohli said that he is successful because he is consistent, of course I want to live. I want to become a cricketer. Now I cannot be consistent just because of his word. Okay, I respect him so much, but it is what it is. Okay, I can only be consistent if I have that desire, I have the dream of playing cricket at the highest level of the game. If I visualize myself playing there every single day, that's the only thing that's gonna help me be consistent. Because I can give you 100 tricks that is gonna help you to be consistent. Because but if you do not have the desire to become the person that you want to become, okay, then how you think that you're gonna be consistent with your input? Because you cannot force your way up to there. You can force your way, like you don't want to do workout, it's essential to force your way at least for a first month. But if you do not have a desire, or you cannot see yourself in the future having any result, any sort of result of doing the workout, because you're just fine with the life that you're living right now, then you cannot force your way up. That's reality. Either you'll fall in love with the process of whom you are becoming, or you'll quit in before you reach that phase. So do not try to torture yourself. Okay, not mentally, not physically, not anything like that, because it is a process, and you cannot be consistent with higher goals, because you're not gonna reach to the levels of the goals that you have set for yourself, but you're gonna fall down to the standards that you hold for yourself. So if your standards are waking up late, or skipping a day, or eating junk food, or scrolling, then how you expect to achieve whatever you set for yourself. Because in reality, you'll just end up being where you are right now. And in order to set the bar to the next level, or to the level that you want to go to, you need to start small. Just do 100 push-ups right now, okay? And trying to build the habit of doing 100 push-ups at least for the first month. The next month, doing 100 push-ups will be a habit, okay? Of course, now building a habit takes around like 3 months to build a habit, okay? But you will have some sort of routine, okay? I get back home from work or college or school, whatever you come from, and I do certain push-ups, let's say 100 push-ups, then you continue for 30 days, then you will have confidence, then you will have the commitment, then you will have discipline, the evidence that you can rely on to move the next level. And the next level, you can just do maybe doing some sort of another workout, or maybe increase the volume that you're doing with. And that's the same thing that you can apply to anything, with recording videos, with doing some sort of a business, maybe with your work, with your studies, with the college, whatever you're doing right now, okay? You can apply this to whatever you want, okay? Maybe reading books, or maybe whatever the hobbies that you have. First of all, you need to set a level which is not so comfortable and not so challenging, okay? It is something that requires some effort, and not just too far from your reach that you just quit before you even get started. So for me, it was a phase where it was like 6 to 8 months I was hating doing push-ups, because what I used to do before was like, when I started to do push-ups, it was the ninth to 10th, I guess, vacation or something like that. So all I had to do was doing some workout and level up my physique. So I at that time of my life, I used to do like 1,000 push-ups a day. Some days I even did more than that. But as I got back, I got back to school. I started recording content, and I did another things on the side by side. I just felt the pressure of not hitting my daily inputs, and being inconsistent for not doing push-ups of whatever the levels that I had at the point was like 1,000 to 500 push-ups a day. I was like so much that I end up hating doing push-ups, and I just cut them off. I didn't do push-ups for like 6 to 8 months at a time, but then I thought like, okay, I need to get back on track, and I'm not setting the volume that I cannot do at this moment, because I have so many priorities and I have so many things that I got to do. They are non-negotiable, or they are supposed to be done. Okay, what I did is just decrease the amount of volume that I'm going to get done. So that's same thing that you can do with what you're doing right now, and you can just either decrease the volume at this point, because there's no like downsides of it. Because if you decrease the inputs, which is better, that let's say if you try to record 3 videos a day and you cannot, because of some xyz reason, okay, you do not have the habit of doing that, start with recording one video every single day and do for like 30 days, okay? By the end of 30 days, you will have at least 25 videos. Guess what? You will have the experience, you will have the knowledge, you will have the planning, you will have rough idea of how we can do the next thing, you will have strategies, everything like that. And then you're gonna level up. It's gonna be much more easier for you to record 2 videos a day, okay? Much more easier for creating them in short form content, everything like that. Because the inputs that you're creating right now are going to be going to compound as you go, okay? So it's just a matter of time until you just get back on track to record 3 videos and upload them successfully every single day and hit your daily inputs. So if you are struggling with your daily inputs, you need to first of all see what your daily inputs are, which are non-negotiables that you need to get done before you go to sleep, and then set low volume that you can hit and a bit challenging for yourself, and then trying to be consistent, trying to stick around for a while, and then you can level up. That's my philosophy of how I started to be consistent with my inputs. And I don't know, I had nothing to do with the board. I don't know why I just pulled this move, but whatever. I just hope that you just follow them and do the things that you're supposed to do, and soon enough you'll be consistent and much more proud version of yourself. So yeah, that's for the video. I hope you enjoyed and this really helped you out. So yeah, talk soon.